Hey guys, welcome back to Ash Heart Books. Today is going to be a book unhaul. So I've never done one of these before, but I really like watching other people do them because I think I'm just really nosy like a lot of other people, and I like to see what people are getting rid of. So I've been trying to go through my bookshelf of my unread books which isn't a shelf anymore, I'd like to point out, or not a whole shelf, it's just like one shelf, not a whole shelf, you know what I mean? Anyways, I've been trying to go through my bookshelf once a month and kind of get rid of books that just don't interest me anymore. I want to say there is nothing wrong with any of these books. Many of them are great books. A lot of them I know other people really have loved, but they just don't interest me right now, and they're taking up precious space that could be spent on something else or used for something else. So if I have an interest in reading them in the future, I can always get them from my library or borrow them or get them on Kindle or something like that. So let's look at the books that I'm going to be getting rid of for at least right now. I probably won't say too much about these just because there's kind of a little bit of a stack over here and I don't want it to take forever. So, you know, probably be a bit brief, but let's go ahead and look at the books. The first thing I'm getting rid of is The Girl of Fire and Thorns by Rae Carson. There's nothing wrong with this. It's the same thing with everything else. A lot of these are just a lot of YA. I think almost everything in this box is YA. It's not that I don't like YA, I still really love it, but I'm just a little pickier about which YA I do enjoy reading, and a lot of these are just ones that are kind of speaking to me right now, so gonna get rid of this one. The next one is Rook by Sharon Cameron. Same thing. This one I've tried reading twice. I've started this one, I'm pretty sure at least twice, and I just haven't gotten through it. I did read another of Sharon Cameron's books and I did like it, so I don't know. I mean, honestly, I almost want to keep this book just because the cover is so pretty, and it looks so cool, like a sunken, distressed Paris. It looks really cool, but we're getting rid of it. Next is The Star-Touched Queen by Roshani Chokshi. I'm tempted to keep this one just because I've heard really good things about it, but it just hasn't drawn my interest as the same of all the rest of these. It's just kind of not drawing me in, but I don't know. I've heard so many good things. I'm tempted to maybe keep this one. We'll see. Next is The Merc and the Midnight Hour. I got this one a while back, like probably 3 or 4 years ago, and I still haven't read it, so it's time to go. Next is Where Courage Calls. Okay, this one is a book based on that the show When Calls the Heart on Hallmark Channel, which is kind of like a period drama set in Canadian West in, I think, the 1800s. And this is the book that it kind of stemmed from. And I love, love, love the show, but I just don't think I'm ever going to actually read the book. I bought it when I started watching the show because I was like, ooh, I'm going to watch the show and read the book. Nope, so it's going. Next is Frostfire, The Canaan Chronicles. This is the second book. No, not second book. This is the first book in the spin-off series of the Trill trilogy, and I loved the Trill trilogy by Amanda Hocking, but I just don't think I'm going to get to this. I mean, it still has the sticker on it, so I've had this one for like 3 years too, so gotta go. The next one is The Heiress of Winterwood. This was one of the ones I picked when I was still doing my TBR jar situation, and I didn't read it, so I'm getting rid of it. The next one is Splintered by A.G. Howard. This one, I kind of bought it when all the retellings were coming out, and I just don't really have any interest in it at all. Alice in Wonderland isn't actually my favorite story to be retold, and I feel like it's been done so many times now that I just don't really want it anymore. I feel like these next two are probably the most popular books that I'm gonna get rid of, and that is Illuminae by Amy Kaufman and Jay Kristoff. I bought this because it's such a cool idea, and I like the idea so much of this book, but I just haven't gotten around to it, and every time I even like look at it, I'm like, nah, don't really want to read that. I'm not really into science fiction. It's never been like my favorite thing. So I think I've heard that the audiobook is really, really good for this, and I know it's available from the Overdrive app. So I'm thinking if I ever want to read it, I probably will just read it on audiobook, but it takes up so much space because it's so big, so it's gotta go. The next one is Mistborn by Brandon Sanderson. I know. Everybody and their brother loves the series, but I'm not really that into like high fantasy series. I do love fantasy, but I'm more like, you know, like lower grade fantasy, you know, more of like an urban fantasy type thing. Or if it is fantasy, just not as like involved in like the world building and all that jazz. And it just, I bought it when everyone was talking about it, and I never read it, and I don't think I'm going to. So I think I'm going to be giving this to either a friend or my brother, because I think they will appreciate it a lot more than me. Next is The Other Countess. This is I believe it's like a YA historical drama romance. But I've had this one for like 4 years and I still haven't read it. And as much as I love a good historical romance, you think I would have read it by now, so I'm gonna get rid of it. Next one is I've Got Your Number by Sophie Kinsella. I'm not the biggest chick lit fan. I love like romances, and I mean that's a lie, I do like some chick lit. But I have never actually read anything by Sophie Kinsella, and so I guess I should keep this, but I just don't really want it. So I think I'm gonna give this to a friend who I think will like it more than me. Last one I have is Codename Verity. I feel slightly ashamed getting rid of this book because I feel like it's such a great novel, and I've heard from so many people and seen so many great reviews of this book, of a great like account of the war from like a female girl's perspective. And I do really like World War II novels, but I just don't think it's for me. I've also heard the audiobook for this one is pretty good, so I might check that out eventually, but this is another one I've just had so long, and it's just collecting dust on my shelf, and I hope that someone else will appreciate it, you know, more than I am. Okay, so those are all the books that I'm getting rid of right now. If there are any in here that you think I really need to read and I would actually really like, definitely let me know. I mean, I haven't gotten rid of them yet, and I'm probably not going to make it to the used bookstore for a couple weeks, so definitely let me know down below if there's one that is really amazing and I'm just overlooking it. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you liked the video, please like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!